I recently bought this not so cheap device with an easy to remember name, ESP32-S3-BOX-3, in hope I will be able to use it as a local voice assistant device for my home assistant. The idea is to throw my Alexa into the garbage and to start using this device instead. In general, I want to use a waking word to activate the device. Then I want to be able to issue some voice commands that the device to understand and execute locally using my home assistant. And finally, I want a voice confirmation or answer of my question. Just like the commercial, voice speakers coming from Amazon and Google, but entirely locally. To be honest, that local only thing bothers me a bit because from my tests in the past with a similar device called M5 Atom Echo and a Raspberry Pi, the response times were very slow and everything was kind of buggy and useless. My new hope now is the new on-device wake word feature that was introduced recently. But let's see what will happen. I'm going to follow this official ESP32-S3-Box voice assistant guide available in the official Home Assistant IO website. And the prerequisites are the following: Home Assistant 2023.12 or later, and I have that here. Then the next thing that is needed is Home Assistant Cloud. That is the subscription from Nabucasa costing several dollars per month, or manually configured assist pipeline. You can download my smart home glossary, which is coming as one big free PDF file, and the link is on your screen as well as in the video description. And I'm going to use this local manually configured assist pipeline. Both options are possible. If you're using cloud, your responses will be faster. If you're using a local assist pipeline, your responses depends on your system speed. The passwords for your Wi-Fi, that's fine. Chrome or Edge browser, that's also fine. I have Chrome and Edge browsers, but I'm going to use Chrome probably. And one of the three expressive ESP32-S3-box variants, and I have one of them, actually this one, and a USB-C cable. I also have a USB-C cable somewhere here, so that's also fine. And let's start this. I'll copy this URL because I'm going to open it in a Chrome browser. Currently I'm using the Safari browser. This is the native browser for macOS, and I'm going to start Chrome because this is not working with Safari. I'll paste the same URL, I'll open the same page, and if you can see now I have a connect button, while in Safari I don't have such button at all because my browser is not supported. I'll go back to Chrome, here it is, and now I should probably unbox this device. Let's turn on my other camera to show you what I'm going to do. Record. It is still unboxed. Is it visible? I hope so. I'll cut this without my finger. And I open the box. Nothing special about the box. It's a regular one with a lot of text on it. Matter, OpenAI, some dock and sensors are available, but it doesn't matter. Here I have some stickers, expressive stickers. Good, I like them. And below stickers I have the box, S3 box itself. This is the display. This is mounted somehow here, probably that way. Yes. And what else I have? Another docking station. This is with some pins. This is with a battery holder. I can insert a battery below and I can make this battery powered. I also have something else here. What is this? I don't know. Probably I have to read the manual or the box. because I saw it there. This is a bracket, USB-C port on it, and below that I have a PCIe slot. Oh, that's good. Actually, all of them have a PCIe slots, and this is a PCIe slot, so that is mounted like that, and I have a USB and some connectors. I don't know what's the difference between this one and this one. Probably if I read the manual I'll know that. This one I like the best. I have a battery option, I have a USB-C cable for powering the device. And what else I have in the box, I don't know. This is the breadth. The next mounting option, I can mount it like that. And I have some pins that I could use for something. This is very versatile device and that's why it's so expensive. I also have some DuPont or jumper wires, female to male one, and one mini board. I don't know what's the board for. I also have a USB-C to USB-A cable with some orange color inside. I hope this to be USB-C to USB-C, but I have such a cable, so don't worry. Now I'm going to connect these here like that, and I'm going to connect my USB-C cable. Oh, I also have a micro SD slot here, I didn't notice that before, and some sensor, temperature and humidity sensors. Okay, it is connected. The other end I'll connect to my laptop, but only after I'm ready with the software part, with the browser part. I'll move these parts. I hate messy things. I'll move the knife from Switzerland and I'll leave it like that. Okay, I'll stop this camera for now. Actually, I'll not stop it. And I'll click on connect button here on my Chrome browser. I'll share this URL in the video description, so if you don't have it, don't worry, you can get it from there. I'll click on connect. And currently I can see only some Bluetooth devices, my headphones, and nothing interesting. But if I connect this device to my laptop, register for my upcoming webinar, Home Assistant webinar, where we talk about the different installation Home Assistant types and their pros and cons. The webinar is entirely free and you can get the link from the video description and you can see it on your screen. I will allow this. No port selected. I'll cancel this. I'll click on connect again. And yes, I saw this correct. The buck unit USB JTAG serial something. This is what is displayed currently on my device. It seems that it has some firmware on it, but I'll not use it. I'll flash this. Steps for voice assistant. Say hi ESP to wake up the device. Wait for the hi ESP shows on screen. Say command like turn on the light. Oh my god, that is something that I didn't know. It has some software, and this software can be woken by using hi ESP wake word. I also have some buttons here on the top. Sensor monitor, device control, network, I don't know, is it visible? Media player, help. Interesting firmware. The best part is that the display is very sensitive. It's actually usable, so that's a good thing. Never mind, I'll continue with my mission to make this a voice assistant for my Home Assistant, and I'll click on connect. Install voice assistant. Do you want to install voice assistant? Yes, I do. And installing. The display is now turned off. Erasing. Alcohol desinfection. 10%. This will take 2 minutes. Keep this page visible to prevent slowdowns. Okay. I'm not sure why I have so many mounting options. Ooh, I saw the Home Assistant logo with 3 dots on it. Installation is complete and I can click on Next. Configure Wi-Fi. Scanning for networks. Now my networks will be shown probably. I hope so. Come on. Can't you find some networks? Oh, you managed to do that. I'll connect this to my IoT network. I hope I successfully typed my password. Let's see that. I constantly forget my password. The device is connected to the network and now I can add this device to my Home Assistant. How cool is that? I'll click on Add to Home Assistant. And now, if you're running this for the first time, you have to click on this pencil button and then you have to type the IP of your Home Assistant. And I'm going to do that because I think this is one of my other test systems. So I'm going to change the IP. Let me quickly check which one I'm using currently. 32 is the correct IP. So I'm going to change that from 185 to 32. The port is the same. This is the default Home Assistant port. You should leave it like that. And instead of this IP, you should type your Home Assistant IP. That's all. And you can click Update. And from now on, these My Home Assistant links that are available everywhere will work for your Home Assistant. And I hope they will work for me right now. When I click on this open link, I have to authenticate myself. That's good. Hope I will guess my password here as well. Yes. I'll change the theme immediately. Oh, I cannot do that right now. Never mind, I'll do it later because I prefer the light theme. I don't like the dark theme of Home Assistant. I don't know why. Please share in the comments which theme you like best, dark or light or something other. It will be interesting for me to see. The most important part here is this label. Do you want to set up ESP Home? I'll click on OK. And my ESP32-S3-BOX-3 is discovered with some strange numbers at the end. Probably this is the MAC address of my device. Submit. And I have this device added in my Home Assistant. And I have a smiled Home Assistant logo on the device. I can add this to some area, but I'll leave it like that. And I'll click on Finish. Where is my device now? Here it is. Let's see what we have here. I'll copy this URL in my Safari browser because I prefer Safari than Chrome. And I like the light theme better. That's a lot better in my opinion. Okay, what we have? Device info card, where some firmware versions are stated, hardware version as well, and MAC address. I also have this visit button, and if I click on it, it will try to open the ESP Home dashboard on my Home Assistant, but because I don't have it as an add-on installed on my system, I will see this dialog. Please install it first, and if I click on OK, it will lead me to the ESP Home dashboard add-on and I can install it, but that's not needed for now. I'll go back. Next, we have a sensor here, which is currently in off state. This is a binary sensor, and when I'm talking to the device, it will become on. So when the waking word is recognized, and when the assist is working, it is searching for your answer. This sensor will become on, and I can add this to my dashboard. I can put it in Home Assistant automations or scripts and stuff like that. We also have a logbook. This is very usual for every device and entity in Home Assistant. We also have automation, scenes and scripts cards from where I can easily create such things, automation, scenes and scripts. We have some diagnostic card as well with two entities that are not shown. Mute and top left button. I'm not sure what are these buttons. We have mute here and top left button. I have top left button here, which is also mute if we are talking about the same thing. And the most important and interesting card is this configuration. From this configuration card, I can fine-tune my voice assistant. From this drop-down list, I can select assist pipeline. By default, preferred pipeline is selected, but I can override this preferred with a manually selected pipeline. We will talk about that later because we are actually going to create a pipeline from scratch just for this voice assistant. The next switch is display conversation. I can enable or disable this switch. I can also factory reset this. I don't want to do that. I also have another drop-down list here, finished speaking detection. And I have two modes, default, which is relaxed I think by default, and aggressive. That means if you say the waking word of the voice assistant, how this will be treated. In a relaxed way, that means it will give you some more time, or aggressive. When you stop talking, will start processing your commands, something like that. We have a LCD backlight. Let me show you what this is doing. Currently it is enabled, and if I disable this, the LCD is turned off, but the device is still working. And I have a mute button, which actually also disable the screen. I don't know why. If I click the hardware button here, what will happen? Nothing. I have an LED turned on, but the display stays active. And I also have one more drop-down list, wake word engine location, with possible option in Home Assistant and on device. The default option is on device. That means the waking word processing will happen on the device itself and will not load your Home Assistant at all. But if you select this in Home Assistant option, the waking word will go from the device to Home Assistant. Home Assistant will try to process your waking word, and the result will go back to the device. So I'll choose on device here, and I'll go to the next part, which is creating an assist pipeline. Okay, we are somewhere here. We have this screen, the configuration. We installed the ESP Home on our device, and now I want to create a pipeline. I'll follow this tutorial and I'll link it in the video description if you want to follow it as well. And we have to install some add-ons here. Let's start with the first one, the Whisper. I'll go to my Home Assistant. I'll actually open a new tab because I don't want to close this one. I'll press the C button and I'll type add-on, and I'll select add-on store. Then I'll search for Whisper. Here it is, and I'll click on install. We also have to install Piper add-on. Whisper is a speech-to-text add-on and Piper is the text-to-speech add-on. We need them both. We also need the Open Wake Word add-on, and I think that will be enough for our pipeline. Whisper is installed. Watchdog start. Then I'll go back and I'll search for Piper. I'll click on install. I'll wait for the installation to finish. I think one of the add-ons is a heavy one, a big one, and the installation took some time, but we'll see that. Oh, it was fast. I'll enable Watchdog again and I'll click on Start. Then I'll go back and I'll search for Open Wake Word. Here it is. I'll click on Install on this add-on as well. Let me check the instructions because I skipped a lot of them. Whisper converts speech into text. Piper converts text into speech. Wyoming is the protocol they're both using to communicate. And Open Wake Word add-on is used for a waking word functionality. So we almost have them all. Let's see what happened. Open Wake Word add-on is installed and hopefully it will start. I'll type C button again and I'll type add-on dashboard, and here are my installed add-ons. Piper, it is started. I can change the voice, the speaker, the length. Oh, everything is fine here. Good. I don't have to change anything. Let's check the whisper. The model can be changed here depending on your system and your system speed. Because I'm using a Raspberry Pi 5 on this machine, I'll stay with this tiniest model, Tiny Int 8. If you have a powerful i5, i7 computer or M1 or I don't know, something powerful, you can play around with better models which will understand you better, they will load your system more, but because I have a Raspberry Pi, I will stick with this tiniest model and I think I'm fine. So no configuration is needed, but you may need some changes here. Fine-tuning and experimentation are greatly appreciated. I'll go to my integration section now because I have to configure these add-ons. Now I have to search for this BOO, this is the Wyoming protocol, and I have to configure Open Wake Word, Whisper and Piper. I'll click on configure here, submit, and I'm ready with Whisper or Open Wake Word. Then I'll do the same for Piper. And finally for Whisper, the order doesn't matter. You just have to configure them all and that's it. And now I have them here. Wyoming integration is under my configured label section, call it whatever you wish, and I have three entities which are Faster Whisper, Open Wake Word and Piper. That's perfect. Now I have to configure my pipeline because I have all that is needed for local processing. Assist in progress sensor is automatically added on my dashboard because I'm using an automatic dashboard and it adds everything that Home Assistant thinks it's important. I'll click on this assist button right here. Then I'll click on this down arrow and I'll click on Manage Assistants. And here I can add new pipeline, new assistant, or I can edit the default one. But I'll leave the default one as is and I'll add a new one. Here I can type a name, for example ESP32, what was the name? S3-BOX-3. Something very easy. I can choose a language here. A lot of languages are available, but I'll stick to English. Conversation agent is Home Assistant. And I can also select here a language, but because I already selected English, only English is possible. Speech to text engine, and I can select none or Faster Whisper. I can also select a language here, and text to speech, that is the other add-on. Possible options are Home Assistant Cloud, which is, as I told you earlier, paid subscription. You have to pay several dollars per month and you have very fast processing over the cloud, over the Home Assistant Cloud, and it doesn't matter what Home Assistant system you're using. It doesn't matter if it is an older Raspberry Pi or the latest Intel processor. if you select this Home Assistant Cloud and if you pay Nabu Casa some money every month, you have a faster processing time, but that's not my case. I'm using a relatively slow machine. It is the fastest Raspberry Pi at the moment, but it's still slow for this speech processing. And I'm going to select Piper, which is my local text-to-speech engine. I can select a voice here, but I'll stick with the default one. And here I can select the Waking Word engine, and this will be my open Wake Word add-on that I installed previously. And from the next drop-down list I can select the actual Waking Word, which can be Alexa, Hey Jarvis, Hey Mycroft, Hey Raspi, or OK Nabu. I'll stick with OK Nabu and I'll click on Create. The last thing here is to select this pipeline as preferred, because as you can see now, the star, the preferred assist pipeline is this one, the default one, and I want to change that. I'll open it again and I'll click on this star button, and now the star is moved. That means this new pipeline is my preferred one. And probably I can eventually test this. I'm still recording. Good. Let me open the screen because it is better for demonstration. And let's try this. I don't know what to ask. I have nothing in this Home Assistant. Let's see if the Waking Word will work. OK Nabu. No, it is not working at all. OK Nabu. It is not working. Why? OK Nabu. No, it is not working at all. Probably I have to restart something. Let's try to restart the device. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to connect this. Let's see how long it will take for the device to reboot. I'm seeing the logo with the 3 dots. That means it thinks something. Is this a button? I don't know. It is. It reminds me of the old iPhones and old iPads. It is started now. It was fast. Let's try the Waking Word again. OK Nabu. No, it is not working. OK Nabu. OK Nabu. Now it's working. How come? What's the person Kirill status? Sorry, I couldn't understand TH. Okay. OK Nabu. OK Nabu. Assist in progress. Okay. OK Nabu. What's the status of LCD backlight? Sorry, I'm not aware of any D. What's the status? But it understands me very well. Now what happened? The device is turned off. Why? What happened? I'm not sure. Did I press something? Or maybe the cable was not plugged in correctly to the max. I hope this is the reason. Never mind, I rebooted it again and now I have to add something. Let's add something in that test Home Assistant environment. Okay, I installed this Tuya Smart Light on my test Home Assistant in order to demonstrate you what can I do with this voice assistant. I hope it is visible now. And let's test this. OK Nabu, turn on Smart Light. The first attempt was not successful. OK Nabu, turn on Smart Light. It understands Smart Light, but not the turn on command. Let's try again. Okay, Nabu. Turn on smart light. Whoa, it is working! Is it visible? I hope so. The light is turned on. Let's try something else. Okay, Nabu. Change the smart light color to blue. Wow, it's working! I hope you can see that, but now the light is glowing in blue. Great! This was not very short tutorial and it took a lot of efforts to be made for you for free, and the best present for me that you can do is to subscribe and like this channel. Eventually you can share this video to someone who's interested, that will also help. So thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing this video.